WPI Regional. That's Coach Don Friday. Student athletes Donyae, Baylor-Carrol, and Nate Curry. Penn State Harrisburg, a 63-53 winner over University of St. Joseph. Coach Friday, if we could get an opening statement from you, please. Congrats.
Thank you. Coming into this contest, we were very, very excited to be able to compete back on the national stage again after our experience in 1920. We had a taste of it down at the Johns Hopkins pod in 1920, and these two young men to my left and to my right were integral parts of that along with their teammates. Fast forward, our 2021 season was taken away, and what we did was we used the joy and the hope of being in a day like again today to help us navigate the dark days of the pandemic. We used it as a measure of hope, we used it as a measure of motivation, we used it as a measure of connectivity and keeping our guys together with mental health, physical health, and their academic well-beings at Penn State. So today, obviously, it's very gratifying to come in here and to go up against a very, very good St. Joe's University team that was, put together by legendary Coach Calhoun and Coach Glenn Miller. During the year, we were never ranked regionally, and that was part of the reason was they looked at our schedule, but I don't think the people really ever looked at us as a team. They only looked at numbers, and they looked at what the number test would be. And we kept saying to our guys that it didn't matter. What we needed to do is we needed to be able to get on a court with a great team, and that team today happened to be St. Joe's, and we're very proud of what we were able to accomplish.
We'll now open up to questions for Coach and to the student athletes, please.
Coach Fry, first question. You mentioned the regional rankings. 2 years ago, you guys went down to Johns Hopkins and beat a top 10 team. 2 years later, these two guys playing to your left and your right, you come back in here, you beat a top 10 team. There's probably going to be a lot of people across the country saying, oh my gosh, they did it again. Look at Penn State Harrisburg. To you guys, what is that mentality of, this is no surprise? Is this something, the mindset that you guys have coming out of this seems calm, seems like there's more work to be done.
We expected it because of our behavior. And if you know Donyae, and you know Nate, and you know Brandon Coleman, you know Dylan Daniels, Zach Scott, Pedro, they're our core group of guys. If you know them, paper and numbers don't tell the story of what they are. It doesn't measure their heart, it doesn't measure their connectivity, it doesn't measure our execution. During the pandemic, we couldn't go out and play people anywhere all over the place because of budgets. How do you justify when you're laying off people in your athletic and academic departments and then you're going to take these long trips? So that was part of it, but we knew what we were, and I can be, not say bold, but I can be confident. I'm humble, but I can be confident when I know what we have in our room. And hey, you want to hear from this guy, and you want to hear from this guy to my right, because they're great students, they're tremendous people who happen to be very, very good at the sport of basketball. So, we're humble and we're grateful to be here. Now we go to the round of 32, and we'll have a tough test again tomorrow. We kept saying to these guys the whole year, NCAA tournament bids don't come free. Wins in the NCAA tournament don't come free, and they are highly expensive, and they come with, you have to be great work, and you almost have to be perfect, and they embody that. So without further ado, if I could open it up to student athlete Baylor-Carrol and student athlete Nate Curry.
Either one of you jump in. You had a great experience first round 2 years ago. How did you draw from that experience at Johns Hopkins? How did that help you guys get ready for this afternoon? Just jump right in.
Well, like you said, when we faced Johns Hopkins, I feel like you said, that was like our first test. We haven't been or experienced something like that. So the fact that we were able to find success 2 years ago, I think that definitely gave us a confidence boost in terms of when we got here 2 days ago. We all knew we know how to stay focused. We've been here before, and we're going to battle. And at the end of the day, even if you're ranked high or low, you still got to play us. So we're just going to stay confident throughout the tournament and play every game like it's our last.
Just like Donyae said, every game like it's our last. Before we left PA, Coach Friday said, you have 80 minutes of basketball, ready to 40, now we got 40 more to go.
And just, Dave, if you could start with the toughness. Coach mentioned not being regionally ranked, so you went into last week and you knew the only way you were getting in is you had to punch your ticket. So you guys had to sing for your supper all last week. Just explain to me that mentality, because it looked like you guys carried that over to tonight.
We have to be strong-minded. People look down on us, but that makes us stronger.
I feel like we were tested. So even in the league that we had a competitive game against like Lancaster Bible, which we lost them in the regular season, which they got to host the tournament to get here. So I just thought that was like a good test to us in terms of like, even if we want to go to the tournament, not being ranked and also losing to an opponent in our league, which they were able to host, we would have to fight our way in there. And so like we just take that approach of, hey, this could be our last game. We're gonna have to fight regardless. And I think Lancaster Bible tested us good to put us in this position to where we had to do the same thing today.
Proving again, I know very little about basketball. I expected the two teams, expected the score maybe to be in the 70s, maybe the 80s. Defense won tonight. To talk about the defensive effort tonight.
Defensively, we knew exactly who to stop, who to be aware of, and making sure we were on the same page. Hands up, sliding, and help defense all over.
Good. And just talk about the experience, you guys. Not exactly around the corner, so your fans make the trip up here. I could tell the emotions at the end. Just if you could talk about the support you got from your loyal followers today.
It was huge. I believe we traveled like 6 hours, and a lot of the other families traveled 6 hours to be here. So like just feeling that energy and knowing that they're in the building, I think really like motivated us, especially to the fans that aren't here with us, that just watch it online. Like those people that support, they keep us going.
We had one special fan. We have a woman named Holly Maitland McKenna, and what she does is every year she'll swim for 24 to 48 hours in our pool nonstop, and she's become like a surrogate member of our team. She really adores our team, so we'll go down and support her through it. During the pandemic, what she did was she took it to a whole different level, and she swam in Blue Marsh Lake, which is outside of Reading, Pennsylvania. She swam for like 20 minutes in the middle of January for raising money for God and for the kids. She was up in the stands today cheering so loud and so hard for us. So we wanted to, they get tired of hearing me. 100 practices in, we're like 30 games in. My voice, they're tired of hearing me, but Holly's voice down in our locker room, that was a really, really neat experience because it's about a person that is like she's a servant. She tries to help others, thinking of other people. But she helps us too, so it was really, really neat to see that.
Hey guys, last one I have for you, Coach, to your left, you got a player who has been clutch since he walked on campus. His accolades precede him. To your right, you have a player who, in the last 2 weeks, was tournament MVP in the conference championship tournament. These guys have kind of proven we know what they do, and to you guys too, to Nate and Donyae, to see somebody, we had an absence today, I don't know how many people know this, but second leading shot blocker in the nation, wasn't able to play these last 2 games, and instead we have some youngsters like Alex Leiba, who, it's his freshman season basically, comes in and contributes today. Pedro Rodriguez gets the start, contributes today. Can you talk a little bit about how, even for a team that's kind of getting overlooked, maybe you guys were a little more of a disadvantage because your big man, who's first team all-conference player, didn't play, and yet other guys stepped up to help out these 2 gentlemen who closed it down the stretch.
The next man up mentality, that sounds really good when you're sitting at home on a Sunday afternoon watching football, eating soft pretzels and drinking a beer. That sounds like hey, that's a great idea. It's very stressful when a guy like Dylan goes down, but if you know Nate, you know Donyae. Like Donyae is a calming force. Like Donyae knows how to take care of our team. The guy to my right, and I'll say this with Nate Curry, we're talking about a guy that when he got a 3.9 3 semesters ago was furious. His first words to me were, but it's not a 4.0. A 4.0 would have sounded great. Now, this guy's in the weight room, he's in the gym, we have to throw him out at times. Alex Leiba, he sees that, so he starts to behave accordingly like that. This guy, last week, when our backs were against the wall, his stat line in a two-game pod at Lancaster Bible against St. Mary's and Lancaster Bible, stat line, 18 for 22 from 2, 6 for 6 from 3, and I think he averaged 6.5 rebounds. Well, you got to get a little more physical. But my point is, guys like this, right, it's not by accident. They work hard at it, they dream it, and they achieve it by their belief in their work and their craft. And hey, these 2 guys represent us, but I know right now Pedro is happy, Alex is happy, Dylan is happy, because we've all succeeded. And if you know us at Penn State, and we're part of this great university, these guys are scholars, they're tremendous people, they're respected in the community, and they take that with great responsibility. They appreciate what they had, so it's easy to root for them. And I'm blessed to coach these guys. I've done coaching for a long time, I've seen a lot. I've been through the good, the bad, and the ugly. And when guys like this come around, you gotta sit back and savor every moment of it, and we're gonna get a chance to savor again tomorrow against a real good team, no matter who we play here. And hey, I like my chances. I'll sleep pretty good tonight, knowing I got the guy to my right and the guy to my left with their teammates. We're in good hands.
Gentlemen, thank you, best of luck, we'll see you here tomorrow night.
Coach, can I just get a question?
Oops, sorry, yes, sir.
That's right. The 2-3 zone looked very active tonight. What was the game plan from a coaching standpoint? What were you hoping to accomplish? You kind of stuck with the zone throughout, and it caused a lot of problems offensively for the Blue Jays.
We knew coming in, obviously with Coach Miller and what Coach Calhoun has built there, we knew that their guards were really, really good at probing and getting into the lane, and they cause a whole lot of trouble. They start breaking you down, and then they get all over the glass. That was an emphasis going in, and really trying to take shots away from O'Neal and from the kid number 25, and trying to really keep people in front of us. Easier said than done. And give those guys credit. I think Donyae will say number 14. He's a handful, and he's a handful to chase around on defense as well as on offense. And we knew we were going against a very, very classy program today, and we were excited for that challenge, right, to go against the best. And hey, we got our ticket punched today. Now tomorrow we're going to come right back and earn it again with whomever we're going to play next.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Nice job. You guys know how to get out of here?
Yeah.
Good.